Hey everyone, it's Mike from The Art of Guitar. I'm here today with a really fun video. I really love these audio illusions or things that fool me. Sometimes when you hear a song, maybe the intro's kicking in, whether it's on the guitar, bass, or drums or whatever, and you think it's going to go one direction. You think when the rest of the band kicks in, it's going to be on a certain beat, it's going to have a certain feel. But once in a while, it's like they pull the rug out from underneath me and it's completely different than what I expected. And so these are going to be the top riffs that, have fooled me in the past. So I have a whole new list of these kind of songs for you, and let's get started. I'm filling in on rhythm guitar for a Bad Company tribute band, just for a few shows, and the beginning of the song called Rock Steady completely threw me off when I was trying to figure it out. It goes like this. It's such a great riff. So my ear was hearing the first hit pretty much on the one. It's like a 16th note push into the one beat. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put the rest of the band behind it so you could hear what I thought it was going to sound like when it kicked in. Here we go. When in reality, it kicks in like this. The next tune threw me off a lot. I think I may have mentioned this in another video, but it's Rebel Rebel by David Bowie. Whenever I hear this slide, I think of Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I always think that's where the one hit is on the song. So the way I was hearing it was like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll show you what I mean with some backing tracks. Now here's the real version where the real beat is. Now keep in mind that I'm playing a straight beat over the top of it just to show you where the snare hit is, just so you could really hear where I thought the 1, 2, 3, and 4 beats were. But at the very, very end, I throw in that, everything hitting at the same time beat just to give it a more authentic feel. But here's how the beat's really supposed to be counted. Here's a great tune by Men at Work. It's called It's a Mistake, which is kind of ironic because I made the mistake of hearing the beat, the guitar part at least, on the wrong beat completely the first time I heard this. So it starts off with just strong down feel like this. There's actually a video out there of Colin Hay playing this song acoustically, and he mentions the same trickery in it, so I know it's not just me.
Again, with a reggae, right, it's kind of, you don't know where the song starts, and it confuses a lot of people, but because it starts like this.
Okay, so here's what I mean by it. When I first heard it, I thought that these hits were on the downbeat like this. Now, when the beat kicks in, it might surprise you as well if you've never heard it, but this is actually how it's supposed to be counted. This next riff is from the band Anthrax, one of my favorite thrash metal bands of all time. Ever since I heard Antisocial from them, I've loved them. And they're a lot of fun. They're always full of tricks. A lot of their songs have crazy beats in them and awesome riffs. This particular one is from a song called High Pro Glow. And when I first heard it at the beginning, it's just a bunch of hits with the drums and guitars. And then there's a weird vocal thing going on. So when it finally kicks in, it completely took me by surprise. Here's the riff. Here's what I thought the beat was going to be when it kicks in. That would have been really killer, but the actual beat is, in my opinion, way cooler. Okay, here we go. It just kind of hits you in the gut in a really great way. For the next song, I have to change over to the 12 string. I always look for any excuse to use this guitar, so let's do it. So the intro to Ticket to Ride always messed with my ear. The very first 2 times they play it, I think the beat is going to kick in like this. So that would be if the guitar part started on the and of 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But in reality, it starts just on the 1. For some reason, the way it's played, it just gives me that sound that there's a push going into it, but it's actually just on the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and. So I'm going to play it with that with the backing band now. Now, this one might be a little bit obscure, but I heard it not too long ago, and it reminded me back when my sister was into hair metal, and there's a band called Danger Danger, and I remember because they kept releasing songs that had the same word twice, like Naughty Naughty and Bang Bang. So this is the bass part. I'm going to play it on the guitar for Naughty Naughty, and when it first comes in, it's just the bass, and then the drums come in, and the rest of the band, it kind of surprised me, because it's actually not on this beat that I thought it was. So here's what I thought it was. So you can imagine my surprise when I'm tapping my foot, kind of bobbing my head to the beat, what I thought it was, and then it does this. This next one has perplexed me from like age 7, back when my dad had the 8-track for Van Halen, and it's the riff for Panama. When it first comes in, that very first guitar hit fools my ear still to this day. So I always thought it came in on the 1, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll play it with some backing music. That was a wild squeal. I did not plan that. But in actuality, that first hit is on the and of 1. And it's kind of interesting because, you know, he hits a low E string the next time around on the and of 4. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Which totally makes everything make sense. But in the beginning, he cuts that out. He just goes right to this full E chord, this E bar chord. And it fools my ear, like I said. Here's how it really should be counted. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Makes everything more on the upbeat, and it grooves a little bit better. The other way sounds a little too happy, a little too straightforward for Van Halen. So this is the real way with not the right beat, but just a straight beat so you could really hear the count. By the way, I still have this homemade strap that I made in my one video where I talked about the 5 guitar accessories that you could make yourself if there's an emergency. Let's say you forgot your strap. This thing is still holding strong. It's just a piece of gaff tape that I did a certain thing to. And I think I'm going to leave it on, see how long it lasts. Now, the last riff I'm going to do is very familiar to a lot of people. It's the riff for Fire by Jimi Hendrix. One of the coolest riffs ever. By the way, I did cover this one in a previous video, but it was a collection of Jimi Hendrix riffs, so I thought I would just isolate this particular one because it gave me the most trouble. I used to think the first hit was on the 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Made sense to my ear, especially because that's the first hit of the song. My ear just thinks the first hit of every song is the 1 for some reason. But you'll find out if you do it that way, if you count it off wrong, you have to do a strangely timed drum fill to come back onto the real beat. So if you don't do that strange timed drum fill, you end up with this catastrophe. Check this out. So you don't want that to happen. If you just start off on the right count, everything makes sense. Everything fits in a perfect set of 4. So you have to start off on the 4 of the count, not the 1. So it's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that kind of messed up? But it all makes sense once the next riff kicks in. I wish I would have known this a long time ago. It would have saved me in a lot of situations. Same with the intro to Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin, the drum part. It's that same concept. I've talked about that a lot in the past. That's why I didn't put that in this video, but that's a big one. Okay, everyone, I hope that was fun and informative. Let me know if you've had trouble with any of these songs or if there are other songs that I should take a look at. Let me know in the comment section, okay? Thank you very much, and we'll catch you at the next one. Bye-bye.